What's up,
good,
Caleb?
Jader?
Hey.
And what's good, Double Clutch Nation?
Hey.
It's your boy Wygos, and today I'm joined by
Jaden.
and that is the most energy you're gonna see the rest of this video, because on this video I'm gonna be killing him.
Yeah.
With kindness, guys.
Exactly.
Today we are gonna be talking about
Love.
love.
Yeah, love. Love.
Where's Rihanna when you need her?
Love.
Just kick back, relax, enjoy the video, like the video if you want. We're going to be having an open discussion, an honest discussion. A 20-year-old and an 18-year-old are going to talk about love.
Isn't that interesting?
You're not going to find anyone else who knows as much as we do about love, clearly.
Of course, yeah, clearly. We have all the experience.
But hopefully you get something from this, a little bit of insight, maybe a little bit of relatability. Maybe you hate me. Maybe you love me. Oh! Let's go.
Hey, but it is going to be a little bit of a yap fest. But if you're down to listen, order some food, grab that popcorn, warm up that ravioli. You went for a treat. Tell you what. So, love is an interesting thing. It's very strong but also fickle. And love is love, you know? A lot of people have different definitions of love.
Okay. A lot of people have a lot of different definitions. Yeah. What is your definition?
Well, I feel like love comes in with a lot of different things. If you truly love somebody, then you also respect them.
Okay.
And I feel like that's something a lot of people neglect. Because you can love somebody, but you can also not respect them as much as you would respect someone that you admire, if that makes sense. And also, admiration and love is...
I feel like you still haven't defined love, though. Because you said love requires respect, but that still doesn't define what you feel love is. Because love is not respect. Love involves respect, but it's not.
When everything is batshit crazy and everything is downhill, there's going to be that one person, regardless, that you're going to want to talk to. Or there's going to be that one person that you're going to want to help. Even how batshit crazy it is, even though you don't have to, you want to. That's what love is. Regardless. But also, love is also being able to let somebody go. Because sometimes that's what you have to do to really love somebody. That's why, I mean, love has many different definitions and there's very different ways to go about love. But respect is one of the big things with love. Because, well, if there's no respect, then...
So, I think where I'm caught up is... You're talking a lot... wow. I'm Italian.
No, I am.
You're talking a lot about the things that have to do with love, or the things that love will have an effect on you towards others or towards within yourself. To define love, my example would be a deep care for something, someone, or just a deep care. That is fully what I think love is. There's a lot of things that go along with that, but into a generalized sense, a true deep care is what I believe love is. Not to be confused, there's more than just relationship types of love. You love your mom, maybe, or you hate her, I don't know. You love, your friend down the road. You love your passions like music or sports, or maybe you like to draw, You have dreams you chase. You can love yourself, and I hope you do. But it's not easy. It can be hard sometimes.
It can be super hard.
But there are all sorts of different ways to love and to feel love. And, I feel like the one that we will mostly focus on is probably going to have a lot to do with the relationship aspect. But it is a big bundle of different things that love attaches itself to.
I fully agree. And you're right. I was more focused on the relationship because that's what's been going on recently. So, you want me to just get right into that?
I don't have any tea to spill, but go ahead, spill yours.
Well, let's start off with a background. Love in a relationship, you need respect along with the love. Because a deep care and a deep admiration for somebody, which is basically the definition of love, just being really deeply seeking somebody and their presence and caring for that presence. That's what love is. A deep, affectionate passion for somebody. You also need a balance of respect and responsibility and teamwork. within a relationship. So
Okay.
that's what I think a relationship is, if we're talking love in terms of relationship. Now, as I was saying in the start, sometimes the best action is to let somebody go. Because sometimes that's what you need to do to not only love somebody else, but love yourself.
Yeah.
Which comes intertwined, which is weird because you would think, oh, I'm letting something go. This is bad. But sometimes it just needs to happen.
Yeah.
To actually love someone properly, which also goes to yourself. And that's my point of view. So the tea I have, which is going to be a completely left field, and I mean this in the most normal way possible because I know a lot of people would do this and say this sentence and it'll be horrible. I talked to Lisa yesterday.
Explain who
So
that is, because the
they
viewers
don't
do
know.
not know.
So Lisa is my first real girlfriend. And I moved here to where he is junior year, and I now graduated a little bit ago as a senior. So I joined in the midst of junior year, and that was my first girlfriend for until senior year, until we basically graduated. And that relationship was basically a year and a half. It was a long relationship. It was the first real relationship. And we ended up just going our own ways. And the conversation that we had the other day, literally yesterday, was random. So to give up more info, well, they don't know. I have to fill them in. Basically, we broke up and we went different ways because it was just, there was too much going on. And we couldn't support each other how we want to because we're young. And also, our lifestyles were just drastically different. And it just didn't, we were wired differently at the time and it just didn't work. And after that, I ended up being cool with one of her friends and we started hanging out and we were decent friends. And then she asked me, hey, are you going to ask me to be your girlfriend? I was just like, sure. But the timing was super fast to where it was literally like a month after we broke up. So the timing was stupid fast, like really fast, and it was with her friend, which was really bad. And then that relationship went on for a month.
Yeah.
And then she ended up going back to her ex, which still doesn't make sense. And it doesn't bother me as much as some people would think so, because
That's one of those things that you were saying, though. To love yourself and somebody else, sometimes you have to let go. But if
Yeah.
you're not ready to let go, then that's a situation like that where she knew, well, I love this person. At least however she feels, that's how she felt.
Yeah.
I love this person. And even though we have the potential, I cannot love you while I still love this person. So she went back.
Yeah, of course, in the moment, I was mad at it. Who wouldn't be mad? Who wouldn't
Yeah.
feel emotions and whatever? But now, I've had enough time to reflect and really go forth. And like I said, I even had the opportunity to talk to my first girlfriend about it, which was interesting, Lisa.
Yeah, I bet that is.
And we're gonna get more into that. I'm just filling up the ground. Don't worry. So that happened. She went back to her ex, and there's no ill will. But I basically got over it because.
What you gotta do, yeah.
Yeah, what can you do? And she already moved anyway, so it is what it is. And it was a fun little run. Not gonna lie, I do everything with intention. So, of course, it hurt me.
Because you were looking bigger picture.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
look at the bigger picture. But that's basically the summarization really quickly of what happened. And it wasn't I'm going to get into that relationship to get over
Yeah.
the first girl.
No, it's because you thought
I
it
was
was going to
already-
be something.
Yeah, we were friends, and I even told my moms and everybody, because we were hanging out a lot, I'm cool with her just being a really good friend, and I do not care.
Yeah.
I don't care how it goes, and she's the one who pushed for it, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. So, now, the conversation I had last night,
Mm-hmm.
was interesting because she figured out, because I basically soft launched her, as I do, because when I'm in a relationship with somebody, I really admire them and I really get focused on that person, regardless of who they are. They are the most beautiful thing in the room.
All right.
And I'm talking not physically, but also eternally and whatever.
Yeah.
Even if they are messed up in the moment, or if they are wrong, I still attach to their beauty.
Yeah, you have your little rose-colored glasses.
Exactly. Yeah, your love is blinding sometimes. So I soft launched her, and that kind of made it more official a little bit later on. And she, of course, saw it, and she sent me a message. And she already knew and had a weird thing because we were friends before, and she felt the type of way. So she was just like, I had a feeling. I hope you're happy, and kind of just disappointed. And I just left it on red because I didn't really have a proper response for that.
Yeah.
Nor did I feel like I had to respond. But going out of the relationship, and a little bit after, and it's a couple weeks now that I've been able to process it, I decided, hey, you know what? I left her on a complete cliffhanger, and I left her on red. I would hate that. I might as well respond and give a proper response because I can. And I did. And then it took 2 days, and then she responded back randomly. And she also texted my mom, which was random too.
Before responding to you or after?
After. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
But she mostly just kept it brief and just said thank you and all that and whatever. And I guess I mostly did that to just smooth things over because I still care for her as a person. And before everything happened, I wanted us to just be cool. It didn't work out. So yeah. It was really just dropped. Like, it was really bad, and I didn't like the ending. So I was like, you know what? I did even worse, in quotes, even if it was indirect, it still affected her. And I would hate that for me. So I responded, and I gave a response, and she responded, and she basically said, I'm just not going to forgive you. And I'm like, that's fine, especially with what you do know. And then it just kept going from there, basically. And then we started talking beyond just whatever. And I explained how the relationship started and how I really didn't get with her to get over her. I already had an expectation that it was going to break off. So I was mentally prepared. And of course, it sucked. It sucked. And I also was honest with her too, because a lot of the times when we were breaking up, to protect myself and I guess to love myself, what felt right was to push her away and act like it didn't affect me as much as it did. And this time I was honest. And I was like, you know, of course I'm fond of our memories. Of course we had really good moments. Yeah. But stuff happens. And that's okay. Like, you know?
Nah, yeah.
That's literally what I said. Like, stuff happens, and that's how relationships go. And then we talked about our relationship, and it didn't seem like we were yelling at each other. We were talking.
Yeah, because it's already been...
Yeah, and it didn't matter. We both were on the same page. Regardless of what happens, there's no plea, there's no whatever. At this point, it doesn't matter. So, it was just an interesting conversation to have with someone you didn't think you were going to talk to again. Especially on a topic like that. And it was overall just a good conversation.
Yeah.
And it goes to show love is tricky. Because
100%.
We broke up, and the way that we broke up, and especially the dirt I threw in her mouth, basically. Especially after events, which I won't name because they're a little more personal to her. Yeah. You know the events.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So, and that had a whole different spiral in itself, and it was just a sour taste in her mouth. And I feel like I was able to smooth it over, and I was just like, you know, I still care for you as a person. There's no animosity on my end. And she said, well, I won't be able to forgive you, and I'm already over you, especially after you got with whoever. That was my closure. And I was like, oh, I can understand that, and I get that from that point of view. And it's just more of a understanding. Love is, even though somebody may hurt you, you still care.
Yes.
And you can tell, even though it's different, and it's completely different, and I would never, like, to be honest, I'll be friends with her, but I won't go back to her. Yeah. And she would likewise agree, because that's what it is. Yeah. But you can still tell we have a sense of love for each other still. If not, we would have never had that conversation. Yeah. And smooth things over. It sucks. Because you don't really know in relationships what the other person's going, it's really just faith and trust. But one thing we also both talked on and agreed on is we both loved each other, but we had two different perspectives which intertwined, and it took us breaking apart to even figure that out, which was interesting.
And what were those two perspectives?
I personally had nothing better to do at the time, and I didn't know how busy life could get.
In terms of nothing better to do but spend time with her? Or?
Nothing better to do except like spend time with her, think about her. Because keep in mind, I was more protected and I was more inside and I'm more spoiled and whatever. I have the luxury of being comfortable. And I was too comfortable. And then she couldn't be in that same situation, which is how our lives clashed. And she was just busy and she couldn't. So I would get mad at that because I wanted everything to be snappy. I wanted everything to be together, and I wanted her to be with me 24/7, of course, because I have nothing better to do. I was a bomb. So that relationship was my life, pretty much, to an extent. We would start arguments because I wouldn't see her. And, of course, I'm not in the wrong because whatever, and then she would push and whatever, but the thing I neglected, too, is if someone is yelling at you 24/7, you're not going to want to be around them, even if it's for a common like. I was fighting to see her, but she was fighting to have a peace of mind. And each time we had a fight, we were on the same page, but it's just like I said. If you're getting yelled at, you're not going to want to whatever. And it wasn't really yelling, well, maybe a few phone calls, but that's how relationships go. And it was just, like I said, we were wired differently, and we had different life paths. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm completely wrong, or, oh, she was wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong in a relationship, personally.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it should be both of you against the issue. And if you stay one-sided, then at that point, it's just a sport.
Yes, but it doesn't always work like that, obviously.
Of course.
There's... help me with the term. Damn. Frank Ocean, where are you when I need you? Unrequited love?
Unrequited love. What does that mean?
I might be saying that wrong, but it's one-sided love. In which, it's not... Let's make a hypothetical situation where someone goes into a relationship and both of the people are, showing a lot of affection. Sorry, Mike. Showing a lot of affection back and forth, and it seems very promising, and one person starts to develop the feelings of love, and maybe the other person starts to confuse their feelings as love as well, but then you sit on that, and you sit on that, and you sit on that, and time goes, and that one person who confused their feelings might not actually love that person. Another person does. So now you have a situation of unrequited love. And now the person that doesn't love them is probably more prone to do things such as cheat or things that they don't consider their partner for, or things like that, while the other person might not. And this is a big hypothetical where it seems very obvious that one person is clearly against the other. Not necessarily because you're both in this relationship together, but one person isn't admitting that they're not in love, but their actions demonstrate it. And in situations like that, where the person is with you and shows you love, but doesn't demonstrate it, because deep down they might not feel it or whatever is going on, there are situations where it's not both of you against the issue, and that one is the issue. Same thing when you have, it works both ways, male or female, but typically we hear about men. If a man is hitting their partner or doing stuff like that or cheating, women cheat a lot, don't get that shit confused. But
it goes both ways, trust. Men are dogs, but so are women.
I find a lot more women are pretty dirty, but it don't matter. It's not a sex issue.
They're a little more slick. You ever seen a cat have sex before?
No, what?
Exactly. They're slick, but you've seen dogs go at it, ain't it?
Probably, yeah.
Exactly. Anyway.
But, yeah, no, I think, unrequited love, or just even an imbalance, or even toxic love, There can be situations a lot of the time, especially with how society is nowadays, where you find one person tends to be the issue a lot more than the other, and then the other person victimizes themselves and makes themselves also, because they have real love for that person, put them in the shoes of that person, and now they're both the victim, but they also see themselves as making the other person a victim because you have love, so you're going to try and reflect and look in for those feelings that maybe that's why they're treating you that way, when maybe the consideration of them just not being as genuine as you'd hope is there. And that happens a lot in society nowadays, especially with, clout chasing or superficialness or
the new
mask
the
putting.
new society in general,
Yeah.
the new social media, the new whatever. It's normal to put on a facade or chase something which isn't real.
And sometimes that's even hard to admit to yourself when you are the person who's in the wrong and you feel those ways. You want to believe that you love this person who loves you so deeply, and you want to, be that person for them. But if you don't feel it, you don't feel it. And that can be scary to admit to yourself. But
that comes with loving yourself.
And it also comes with loving the person, which there's a lack of. But, if you truly love someone and you're not feeling it, or if you love them enough to where you care deeply about them, but you don't love them in a relationship way, that needs to be disclosed. Because the longer you wait, or the longer you pretend like it can happen, the longer you're wasting that person's time. And time is so valuable and does not come back.
Yeah. And
it only will lead to more damage if you continue to drag things on that are a facade. And that's something we've been talking about a lot recently, which is practicing being genuine, being your genuine self, being honest.
Is important. And a lot of people aren't genuine, but if you are genuine, you reap the rewards that come with being genuine, but it's hard.
Yeah, because you have to worry about judgment. Because when you're genuine, you're also vulnerable. Because
Very
you're not
vulnerable.
Just saying things anymore. You don't have a mask, or your mask is lowered. So when you say, hey guys, did you know I like to play chess? And someone laughs at you, maybe that stings a little bit.
Yeah, because you really genuinely like chess.
Yeah, which is fun, I guess. I like chess. Don't get me wrong, I love chess.
Chess is fun.
But, to each their own. But when you try to practice being genuine, one of the hardest setbacks you're going to have, especially if you don't love yourself, is hearing that feedback from others who don't support what you're going for. And if you don't love yourself, that's going to eat at you and make you put that mask right back up, even harder. And so one of the biggest things that I've been trying to preach to Jaden, myself, or just people in general is just being genuine is important because it helps you work on loving yourself. You don't have to hide behind anything. And if people don't fuck with you, honestly, they don't need to be around you. And maybe if that's hard for you, that shows you some issues you need to work on within yourself. Obviously, I'm not a perfect person. I'm very flawed. And so there's a lot of things I need to work on. You know, I have a really, really hard time being alone.
Yeah.
Because when I am alone with nobody else, all I do is think. And those thoughts lead me to the deepest pit where all I do is want to disappear. So I do everything I can to not be alone. But instead of making every excuse and trying to find ways not to be alone, look at the issues you're presenting yourself with.
Yeah.
And those are things you can work on.
Yeah, and the thing is nobody's perfect, and you're also, even though you may make it far and you've worked hella on yourself, something that's very important about being genuine is knowing the fact too that you can always learn and you can always do better. Yeah. And that doesn't mean, oh, you ain't shit. No, it means the same person who's highly successful went through so much hardship and so much bullshit, and they still learn from somebody that they talk to at the gas station. Yeah. That's why they're highly successful. And to be genuine is to not be ignorant in a way. And a lot of people live in ignorance, and it has to be their way, and it has to be whatever. Being genuine is allowing life to flow past, and you don't change, but you adapt. There's a difference, I would say. You can't be stubborn when you're genuine, I feel like. Of course you can like what you like and you can really enjoy hobbies and whatever, But when you're genuine, you have deeper meanings into things. You are exposing yourself, which takes a lot of strength. You're strong if you're genuine, or it's the first step of being strong.
Yeah.
I would say.
And in the same, but in a reflected way, now you look back at the people who are around someone who's being genuine, and you have to look at them, and you have to, if you're the person who is in a group around someone who is trying or showing vulnerability, you should have the mindfulness, whether you care or not, which it does suck 'cause nowadays, especially, I mean, all the time throughout history, there's obviously been plenty of people who are egotistical, narcissistic. Hell,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of both, but
Yeah,
you know,
who isn't? That's normal.
the empathy part, I feel like we lose the empathy part a lot. And so you see someone being vulnerable, and instead of being open-minded or letting them have their peace, you pick it apart.
Yeah.
And that is not cool. It might come off cool. You might be able to make a joke. You might be able to make some people laugh. But it is not cool to really shit on someone who's being themselves.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, why?
Yeah.
There's no real purpose to it other than just like how, like in middle school, I hated myself. This is all kind of a portion about loving yourself. Love has many different sectors.
I was just about to say, we're still on the topic of love, and love is also not just past relationships.
Yeah, there's
it's
love
more
in yourself.
about yourselves, and you can give love, and you don't need to love somebody to give somebody love.
Yeah,
it's just like you said, just being there and listening to somebody. That could be exactly what somebody needs, and you don't have to sit there and listen, but you're giving love in that moment.
Yeah. Or
like
even
simple things.
Without even listening. Say someone's just in your group and they say something and you have the ability to pick on it. Let's say Jaden over here is a fucking dork and he's like, "Guys, I really want to teach calculus." And I'm like, "Oh, you think you're fucking smart?" Like,
damn right I am.
Fucking loser.
Hey.
You're gonna go to school and waste all your fucking money and be unsuccessful. You suck. Now Jaden's crying.
Swallow.
Hey, I do. But we got an OnlyFans video after this to film. But back to the loving yourself part. It's just being genuine and also open-minded and mindful of people's emotions and everyone's different thoughts is a good way to start to center the energy in a positive way, to where the energy reflects back on you, and you can look at yourself and say, "Hey, maybe I don't have this, but I try." Whether that means you're chasing a dream that you love, a passion that you love, that you believe if you get this, maybe you'll find that little bit of happiness that we all search for. Yeah. Maybe it's that. Maybe you don't have that. But as long as you're trying, you're doing the best you can. You can always try harder, but you can always try less as well. You need to show yourself some love for the things you do.
It's a balance.
But as you start to be open-minded or mindful or just less judgmental towards people, that can reflect back into yourself to where you are no longer so judgmental or harmful to yourself, to where you will pick yourself apart. And obviously it's a case-by-case situation. If you suffer with anxiety, depression, you're always going to have that little thing back there.
Yeah, in the back.
And there's ways to control it, obviously. That not forever. It's never going to be a perfect situation, but
it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes love in order to do that. And something which is very important is you can learn to love yourself by yourself, but a lot of the times you need to be taught also, even indirectly, what love is. To know what love is. Because going back to me talking to Lisa again, it took a lot to have that conversation. And even though it was on something which is more negative, and it is emotional for me, but of course, because it's a very interesting thing. Even though it wasn't the most great conversation, it was a very genuine conversation.
And that leads to growth.
And I felt like I grew from it, and I feel like it was a conversation that needed to be had, and a conversation I didn't expect.
Yeah.
But it was needed. And I feel like it was for the both of us, based on how it kept going and based on the topics. And it's very important to know that love does come and go with people, but love doesn't ever fully fade.
That's
Love
fair.
is love. Love is a piece of energy, and energy doesn't be destroyed, it gets recreated. Now, can someone stop loving you and completely hate you? Yeah. But I want to know what you did. Because you had to do some crazy shit. But
That's valid. Yeah.
it's very important to remember that love is always changing. And love is a form of energy in a way. You can do whatever you want with love. You can stretch it. You can compress it. But I really advise that you be genuine and you share it however you want. And you should be the love that you want in the world.
I love that. I fully agree with that. Because one of the biggest, I was in a 2-year relationship, my first relationship,
Yeah.
where I got a pretty shit end of the deal. But something I kept telling myself, and I kept trying to make the wrong person the right person, which was a flaw within.
Yeah.
But something I kept telling myself throughout that, which was a good thing to tell myself just for the wrong person, is if I can love the way I love them, then maybe they can too. And that was wrong. Because not everyone's going to do that. But if you can do the type of love that you wish to have back, that means someone else can.
Yeah.
Maybe not the person you're going for, but someone else out there can be that love for you.
They will reciprocate everything that you want, if not more. And it's very much possible. You have to be patient.
Yeah, if you keep going after the person that cheats on you and talks shit about you and doesn't care about you, then, you know, you're setting yourself up. And sometimes it takes those hard lessons to learn from it, you know? Sometimes you need that toxic person to show yourself, hey, I'm never doing this again. I need better.
Yeah, exactly. Like with my, the friend, she literally just, there was no build up, there was no bridge. She literally saw her ex and went right back to her ex. There was nothing to it. And it was very like that.
Yeah,
and,
that was a good snap.
Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah,
it was very quick, and it really showed me, even though the relationship was nice and it was a really different change of pace and it was very enjoyable, it wasn't love. It was very confusing thinking about it. It was more of a enjoyment of the situation, and you know when it's different in a way.
Yeah.
And of course, you can do actions which are in the case of, okay, this person loves me type. But thinking about it now, love is deeper. Love is being able to, when you're love and you're comfortable with love with another person, which usually comes with loving somebody, you would want to show off everything and also take in everything that they have. You don't hold back. And you shouldn't hold back. Of course, sometimes.
Yes and no.
Sometimes it's not the right time to do something.
Correct.
And knowing how to plan that timing and whatever, that's a different type.
And also, sometimes it's not the right person. Because one thing that can, sorry to cut you off, but one thing that can take that you shouldn't hold back is great. It's true. When you're working on someone with the same intentions or someone who is genuine as well with you. Which is something we've talked about. But if you don't hold back and you don't know that someone doesn't have different intentions, or if they aren't on the same page as you, this is where it gets scary, and you give them all that and they throw that away, it can create a pit. And that will damage you more than if you never opened up in the first place. So you got to really read. You want to build genuine connections, so it doesn't mean don't be genuine, but don't give someone everything when they haven't given you anything, because that's just going to lead. They need to show you a little bit back first. And obviously, I think you know that. But I just want to clarify that.
I worded it.
Yeah. Because if you don't hold back to the wrong person, it can hurt you way more than you think.
Yeah.
And then it'll be really hard for you not to hold back for the right person.
But when it's real,
then you give it.
And you really have to try. Because when it's real, it's real. And that's rare. Rare as fuck sometimes.
It is and it isn't. I think there's a lot of us out there that are scared to be vulnerable, which is very fair, because the culture we're in, being vulnerable with people doesn't work. If I care about what you are about to comment right now, shit, I ain't posting another video for a week.
And,
you know?
And something too, if you haven't noticed, this isn't just a explanation. This is a complete conversation that we're having. In the same way that you might be picking up on something, you might be learning, I'm learning. The way he just interjected and corrected me, I didn't really think too far about it, and you put it in better words, and that's something that reaffirmed in my head. I knew, but I wasn't really on, if that makes sense.
I got you. I learn from you all the time. And
this
that's
whole thing
that's
is
the beautiful part.
This is a whole learning experience. I'm talking to the viewer
Yeah.
and you. This is a full circle. I'm learning from him, he's learning from me, and you're learning from us. And weirdly enough, if we get comments, which we most likely will, we might be learning from you.
Yeah.
And this might end up being something else.
And something big I want to share. Moving from the self-love. Yeah, I'm gay. Which all love to you if you are. That's lit, you know. Everyone should be themselves. That's part of being genuine. Don't
That's a
hold
part of
yourself
loving
back.
yourself. Yeah, genuinely be you, and don't be scared to be you. Be yourself unapologetically. Just be yourself.
And that doesn't mean, you know,
that doesn't mean
if someone's
arrogant.
not you, the difference I want to take is be yourself, but don't make others be you. Because that's a line we find ourselves in a lot.
Yeah, don't be arrogant and like shove your personality down people's
if you're
face.
I hate to use this example because it seems really wrong. And this might be the wrong example, so if you need to interject, you will. If you're a country...
Okay. Here's a better one. Okay, here. If you really like fidget spinners...
Yeah.
That doesn't mean everybody has to like fidget spinners.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean every conversation has to be about fidget spinners. That's when you're dragging it. You need to have more to your life and more substance for others. You can't just...
And being yourself is for you.
Yeah.
So other people don't need to be you.
Yeah, and if they don't like fidget spinners, then...
Fidget spin with yourself. Whatever. You like that.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to share what you love with other people as long as you love it.
And obviously, the people you love, you want to share the things you love with them.
Yeah, and usually if they love you back, they're going to naturally take interest
or at least try, you know.
Yeah, they're going to humor it. And they're going to
look at it. And if it doesn't work out, then you have the mutual respect and understanding to know that both of you tried, and maybe that's just not something that you guys will do together.
An example with celebrities, there's singers that end up being with comedians. Yeah. Those are two different aspects.
Or, if we want to take a realer example, just because the interpersonal emotions of it, me and my girlfriend, I really like YouTube. And she does the videos with me, right? So that's one thing we try together and it works. But she doesn't do every video with me because obviously this is not her passion. This is not her goal. This is not her dream. It's mine. And so I understand that. And so I am not like, hey, why are you not in this video with me? What the fuck? You know? And same way, she's not like, hey, why am I not in that video with you? You know, it's she understands this is my thing, and if she wanted to do it, I would fully go with her on it. But also, it's not her thing, and so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse and make her in every single video. Yeah. But she also has enough love and respect for me to be okay with being in a couple, you know. And then a counter example of things that we've tried together that don't work, where we both don't enjoy it, is I really like adult animation TV shows. Okay, very silly. This is like the fidget spinners. Okay, I like Family Guy. I like BoJack Horseman. I like a lot of those shows.
Yeah.
She don't watch none of that with me. I want to say she's tried. She says she will, which is at least a little bit, you know? But every time the conversation comes up, nah, can we watch a horror movie? All she watches is horror. It's ridiculous. I love horror movies, but it gets played out. Like, God. She does not watch those with me. And that's something I'm just going to have to realize. If I want to watch adult animation and have fun, I can do it on my time.
Yeah.
And it is not the end of the world. Obviously, I want to share it with her. And I'll still occasionally be like, hey, we have some free time. You want to watch episode 1 of BoJack? Nope. Oh, Maybe next time? Yeah, I know next time it's not going to happen either, but okay.
That's how I am with anime too. Most girls don't watch anime at all. It's anime.
Some do, but yeah, I know.
And they don't want to watch it. And it's kind of funny because, have you ever seen an anime intro? It's all gilly gilly happy happy.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. And it's just so joyous. But it's just not them. It's just not them. Yeah. And that's okay. And something about I think I mentioned this. When you're genuine too, and being genuine is a big part of love. To love yourself is to
the biggest thing is loving yourself. Yeah. Genuine is co-aligning with loving yourself.
That's a byproduct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be genuine and be more yourself is to start learning to love yourself. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to be imperfect. You might
find things you want to work on.
Yeah, you might talk to somebody and you're trying to be more open and be more genuine. You might talk their ear off. But if you're genuine, you're trying to keep going, then that's a part of the learning experience.
Yeah.
And that's a part of loving yourself. And I mentioned when you are genuine, it starts coming back to you. And what I mean by that is, last time we went to a function, I was even saying, because I haven't really been out with other people in a minute, and I was like, well, last time it was kind of whatever, but even last time, I'm thinking about all the way back to Halloween when I was in a bad spot and I wasn't who I am now, and I didn't like myself as much as I do because I was so focused on the first relationship, which it's still no digs, but in the current moment, I personally didn't love myself, and I was latched on to what was, which was the relationship, because that was mainly what I was paying attention to where I lost love for myself. I put all my energy there. And that's where I found the loss of connection, because I wasn't genuine, and it's hard to keep a conversation when you're not genuine, because you're not really, you're there, but you're not there. So our last function, it wasn't really function, it was a kickback. It's a bunch of people from completely different necks of the woods, and we're all just having fun, and we all are learning from each other, sharing different experiences. Let's just say some people drink, some people smoke, some people don't, and we're all having a good time, and we're all talking. There's people who come from the hood, and there's people who live in the suburbs, and then there's people that live in more farm, open, rural type places. And we're all together speaking about common topics and different topics. That's what love is.
Yeah, no, that was fire.
That's what love is. That's genuine love, and that's genuine whatever. And that's what it brings you when you love yourself. And that's why it's important, I feel.
Damn it, androids, bro. What the fuck? But, something I want to segue a little bit, just so that we can... There's not a lot of structure. If you guys have not noticed, 40-so minutes in, however long we are, there's not a ton of structure. But something I like to chime in with, my little bit of structure, a note I wrote about a month ago, is, to me, there are 4 different types of love, and we have hammered on 2 so far. We have hammered on the partner/relationship type of love, and we've hammered on the self-love part. Those are 2 of the 4 types of love I see.
Those are the 2 big ones that you see.
Huge ones.
Yeah, those are the
But
major
there's 2 other huge pillars that we're leaving out, which is personal loves. That doesn't mean love for yourself, but the things you love. So that goes whether that's chess, the fidget spinners or chess. But also deeper than that, it can be where you want to be in 5 years. Who's that person that you see that you want to be? That's some shit you love. Okay.
Your vision.
What is the things you chase? Do you love the idea of being a doctor? Then you should pursue being a doctor. And obviously it's not always that black and white. But my point is, I love the idea that one day I'll be a YouTuber and this will be how I sustain myself. Because personally, I have this weird fear of not existing. Because when I'm gone, what is there? And also, even just then, me a second ago is gone. But it's right there.
But it's right there.
And sometimes that's comfort. I have YouTube videos of me from when I was 9. I have very little pictures, very little evidence of my life when I was 9. And sometimes that's a good thing because it can be cringy. But also, sometimes as you get older, I don't know about all of you, but things get blurry for me.
Yeah.
And I forget who I was. And sometimes it's fun to look back at that 9-year-old Caleb and be like, here's proof that I did this, you know?
I was a little kid, you know? We all grow up and we grow up fast to where, and we're so used to it. It's kind of like, you live your day to day to where it may get boring, but you could be living someone's dream life. And
True.
you don't even know it.
And the hard part for me is, where does the time go?
Yeah.
And one of the beautiful things about this is one of the few careers where if I take this video or the video before this video where it only has like 50 views and I work for years, and let's say miraculously I get lucky enough to where it works out, there's a timeline of events that I can now look at of me growing up, of me working, of me doing different things, having different times of my life, different personalities, different feelings, and it's all there. And I think I love that.
That's beautiful.
Because I'm really scared that what if one day I make it to a certain point and I lose who I was. And it is fine to change, it is fine to grow, but I don't want to forget. And maybe that's unhealthy, but I really don't want to forget.
No, that's normal.
And so I do really like having little evidences like this of just like my thought processes or who I am right now, so that one day when I'm feeling like I'm losing myself, I can look and be like, well, here I am at 20, you know? I like that. Especially because a lot of my life I've had issues with mental health. And sometimes I wonder, you know, will I be here tomorrow? And one of the other things I like to think about is, if the rare thing happens where I'm not, I won't necessarily be gone. There's something there. I don't know if Jaden would ever watch my videos if I was not here, or listen to my music, or just little things like that. Or sometimes I think, what if I have kids or nieces or grandchildren, and I just want to show them, you know, hey, you're 20. This is me when I was 20. Hey, you're 9 years old. I had do you know what YouTube was? Let me show you. I had this when I was 9 years old. You know, stuff like that, where it's really just like, I want to have it because it gets lost over time and it's nice to have. But that was kind of a tangent. Leading back in is, do the things you love. There is a third sector of love for things that purely are your drives, your motivations, your hobbies, your habits, just the little things that define you as a person, because that's what you desire, admire.
Like, some people love cars, some people love planes, some people love boats.
Some people never figure out the things they love because they're not genuine enough with themselves.
Yeah, and they don't give themselves the opportunity because, I don't want to play the flute because it's corny. That might be the best flute player in the world, and we don't know.
Yeah, that's just wild.
And we don't know. And Squidward's still playing. We know he sucks.
Yeah, but he loves it. So
exactly, and he's still going. That's what love is.
Yeah, valid.
It's love for the art and
the love of the game.
Yeah, and this goes into the one thing I wrote down in my notes: the difference between love and obsession. And it's very good that we're using objects instead of relationships, because it's more simpler, but you can apply it to relationships too. You have to love something to keep going, and you should do your hobbies out of love. When you start obsessing over it, you're not doing it for the art anymore.
Yeah.
You're doing it for an external reason, which is why a lot of people don't prevail.
Or even once you do, you no longer are satisfied with what you have.
And you're always going to want more.
Like, you always see, here's a weird example to bring up, but like Juice WRLD and stuff. A lot of the times in songs, after he made it, he'll reference where, you know, I have millions. And this is obviously paraphrasing. I don't have the quote in my mind right now. But I made it, but I'm still the same guy who's depressed, or it hasn't made me happy, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get lost in it, the things that you once loved, and you make it so much, once you get to the point you always wanted to be, it doesn't even feel like it matters anymore.
Yeah.
And it can make things pretty empty as well.
You get blinded.
And that's scary.
It is very scary, because you can really not slip. You will still make it exactly where you want to be, but you wouldn't do it in the way that you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. When you're really obsessed. You see people completely go off and go into the gray area or even just the black area of just doing the most negative shit to try and make a positive when you could have taken the extra route and taken the extra steps to stay and bring everyone with you.
Yeah.
Or even bring yourself, because sometimes you just lose yourself at that. And that's something a lot of people forget. And that's why it's important. Yes, you can work hard towards something. And yes, you can obsess over something. But if you stop doing it out of love for whatever you're doing, then why are you doing it?
And I think that something that I just picked up from you in my little brain, back to the learning, this is a whole experience. We learn from each other here. My first relationship, obviously I referenced it a couple times. I got cheated on a lot. I was not treated well. But I believed when we met, because I was in a spot where I didn't love myself and I was so low, that this person was showing me this back a little bit and I needed it to work. And yes, I loved them. Wow. Yes, I loved them. I don't know. It's hard now. Looking back on it, it's hard now. I don't even know if that's my first love anymore. Because at the time it felt like it. But when I look back on it, I think I was just so obsessed with making her love me. And I tried so hard and I failed so many times. So every time that I failed, it felt like it was over. And then she was toxic enough to where she'd come back. And then I'd have my another shot. And it was even more developed feelings now, because it's like, oh, I almost lost my chance. Here's another chance. I got to make the most of it. And it just kept happening. And I was spiraling myself down. Yeah. And I became obsessed with less of just loving her and a real relationship. And now it was less about me wanting to love her and more about making her love me the way I needed. Because I didn't love myself. And what happened was she cheated on me a bunch, and then we moved in together and we stayed together for about 6 months, and she didn't cheat on me, and she, as far as I know, who knows, but as far as I know, and she actually she didn't treat me good, because it just was a terrible relationship, not the right place. But nothing necessarily sparked when I broke up with her after 2 years. I woke up one morning and I knew I don't want to be this. I don't want to be with this person. The future I see with this person isn't right. And I think it's because along the road where I was so focused on making her love me, I didn't even think about if I loved her anymore. I just knew I had to make her love me. And so when she was no longer cheating on me or making me feel like I had to work for that love, the obsession died. And with that, any idea that I loved her also did. And there was a revelation in my brain where I was just like, this is not for me. And I broke it off. And I feel like an asshole if that is the case. Because now I have the thoughts, did I ever love her? And honestly, as hurtful as it sounds, I don't think I did. And that's not even like, I kind of wish I did. Because she deserves that. Because though she was really bad to me, there were a lot of times where things were good. But the way I look back at it, I don't know if I ever did love her. I really wanted to, though. And more than anything, I wanted her to love me. And I got so lost in that 2 years down the line, I no longer had to work for that, and it was gone. And so sometimes you get lost in an obsession that was once a real thing, or what you felt was real. And once you get that goal, it's no longer means anything to you. Because all that mattered was getting there. Not experiencing it, not the right thing. It just mattered that I made her love me because I was empty. I'm a little worried about that with YouTube. Because I have a fear that if I'm not successful at this, I'll die. That's a lot of pressure to put on one thing.
Yeah.
Because if I'm so focused on keeping a consistent schedule, upload Thursday, Sunday, check them out. But if I'm so focused on keeping this consistent schedule, and I do it, and I sacrifice for it, and I do it for so long, because this is really the only way I ever see myself being okay, is getting it. What if it's the same thing? And I want to believe it's not, but it almost feels like self-denial. But it's the only time I've ever felt happy in like my whole life. And I know that sounds stupid or 20-year-old-ish, but I've been a little weirdo my whole life who's been sad for so long, and the only time I ever felt genuinely wanting to live or be excited for the future was when I did this the first time. And it lasted about 2 months, and before I even realized it was gone, it was gone. And now I chase that. And I love it. But I don't know if I love it for the right reasons. And so that is a little concerning.
Something about love too and being genuine is you also have to process a lot, and you really have to mitigate everything that goes on. You can't ignore something that you love. And to love yourself is to love everything else. Like, it starts with you.
Yeah.
And of course you can give love and whatever, but you won't be able to properly accept love back if you don't love yourself, I feel. And that's why I feel people say to love someone else, you need to love you. Because it's a really big problem if you don't love yourself.
Valid.
And it's a very big problem if you can't receive love. Because it defeats the whole purpose of an exchange, which is a relationship, if we're really going to break it down.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important too to be honest, and you can't ignore these type of things. And it's something that you can be concerned about, and it's something you can work through. But eventually, if you keep trying, you will get your answer.
Yeah.
And the thing is you have to keep trying, regardless of what it is. And even if you don't get the answer you want, you loved it, and you loved whatever, and you tried so hard to the point you got the answer, even if it wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah.
And not saying you're going to get the wrong answer. You might get the exact answer you wanted.
Yeah.
Which is also beautiful. The thing is love is very blind, and love takes faith.
Faith and
a
trust.
A lot of faith
yes.
and trust. And it's a lot.
And communication, because not only in relationships, but self-love and all of it,
you have to communicate with yourself
and think through.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean, oh, you're schizophrenic or whatever. Oh, whatever. Oh, you got to be a man. No. The strongest people that you know and the smartest people that you know have fucking cried, have crashed out, have done the most vile things. And that's what makes them them. Because you don't just naturally...
It keeps you human.
Yeah. You don't naturally just... Of course, some people are special and inept.
Yeah.
You don't naturally just become that one person. Like, you ever meet somebody and nothing bothers them? Basically, sometimes.
Only if it's superficial.
What do you mean by superficial?
Where nothing bothers them, that's only if they make it appear that way.
But more of just a unbothered and somebody who usually has a broader perspective. Usually older people. You ever talk with an old fart before?
All the old farts I talk to are crash outs. Except grandma, but even things bother grandma too, so I don't know.
But I've had the opportunity to talk to some people who are very smart, like Unc. In my, the friend, okay? There's the relationship and then the friend. The friend, which is the one who da-da-da-da and just snapped. The friend, I met Unc. And Unc is the person, because I go to trade school. Unc is already in the profession and owns a company for HVAC, which is what I'm going to trade school for. And Unc is a very smart person. He's very mellow. He's very genuine. But he's going to push your buttons to test you first. And he's very, like, you would think, okay, this guy just has a lot of good accomplishments, a lot of good times when he's telling all these stories. But then we had a deeper conversation, and especially when the whole situation happened, I got up the next day and I went with Unc. Even though I even told him, I think I need a rest day. And then I told him, like 5 minutes later, I changed my mind. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And I went even though it was wrong. And I can tell he noticed whatever, because he's very... it's a learning experience, and also I'm an apprentice and I'm getting paid every now and then. So, and I also am there to learn. That's the most important thing. I'm there to learn, and I made it obvious. So I don't care about criticism. So he criticizes me. On that day, I noticed
He let off a little.
He would still test me, and he was still doing the normal things, but he wasn't on me. He let me wander off. He let me be unfocused and whatever. He noticed something. And when we had a conversation and he got a little more emotional, I didn't know it was like that. Yeah. I would never think he would go through stuff like that with relationships as well. And he's married and he's so happy. And I'm like, one thing I asked him is, how did you know you're going to marry your wife? And he laughed, and he was just like, you want to know how? I knew I'll never meet anybody better than her. And guess what? I never did. And that was it. It's faith. It was complete faith.
Yeah.
And he talked about all the relationships and how he did his best and he got fucked over and whatever, and it sucked. But he kept going.
Yeah. And one thing is, you have those situations and it sucks when it doesn't work out, but you can forgive that, but you don't forget that because it's a learning process.
You know what's interesting too about Unc?
What?
You know what he said? He said, you know what? It's also okay to be cool with your ex. You know who was at my marriage? One of my exes. And she's married. And I'm still cool with her. That's all it is. Being genuine.
Yeah.
Of course it's not going to always be that way.
Yeah, because...
But
these women, bro.
It's a different type of connection, and that's what it is. To really love somebody doesn't mean you need to be in a relationship with them. Yeah. To love somebody is to just care for somebody.
And boom! We hit the fourth pillar, Jaden. Do you know what the fourth pillar is?
No.
Friends and family.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yes.
That was perfect.
What a segue.
That is
the fourth pillar of... Let's just say the square. Fuck it. The fourth pillar of love. There we go.
Is friends and family.
We have 4. We have relationship/partner, self-love, drives, ambitions, hobbies, things you would love, and then friends and family.
Yeah.
That's my own little philosophy.
I think the 4 pillars is
I might be missing something, but I like it. And the friends and family.
It's a big pillar.
It's a huge one because that's what you come up with.
Yeah, that's
and you get it along the road. But we focus so much when we talk about love on ourselves,
or a significant
on
other.
Relationships. We don't really focus on the drive. I feel like the forgotten 2 are the drives, the motivations, and the hobbies, and then the family and friends. Because we all know, hey, Mom, I love you. Even if maybe that's not your situation. You will run into people in this life that have meaning to you, that care for you, that you care for. Maybe it's not reciprocated, but love for friends and family is so real.
Yeah.
Growing up, my dad and he was my main parent. I have a mom. I love my mom, but my dad raised me for the most part, and I love my dad. And he was an amazing, amazing father. Did everything he could for about 13 years. And then something happened with me. And it made it harder for him. And a lot has happened since then. And I moved out from my dad's to my grandma's when I was 16. And a lot of things, were going on. And so many bad things have happened, not just in his direction. I'm not going to make him seem like an asshole, whether or not he is at times. But there are so many moments where I could have said, you know what?
Fuck you.
Fuck this shit. Yeah, I don't love you. But you know what? And you don't have to. It's all up to you. But my dad's hurt me so many times.
Yeah.
But I forgive him. I don't forget. There's difference in our relationship than what it used to be. But I love my father, whether or not, however much trauma, however stupid he can be, it's a little bit from a distance now, but I do love my dad. And he's not the only person that's hurt me. I've had friends that hurt me. I've had my mom has hurt. Everybody will hurt you.
Yeah.
Not even on purpose sometimes.
Yeah, completely indirect.
But one of the things that show that I love them, and it's kind of toxic towards myself because I think I forgive too much, is just no matter how much, there's not gonna be a time where I hang up the phone with my dad and I don't say I love you.
Yeah.
And that's just me. You know, it doesn't have to be you. Yeah, I know there's plenty of people now that cut their parents out of their life, but you might have that other person, a friend, who no matter what happens, you know, y'all always got each other. Something like that. Or maybe you never do, and I'm sorry for you. That sucks. You know? But I don't know. I definitely forgive a little too much. I have friends that sounds like shade. It's not
No,
shade.
it's not shade. But it's
yeah.
more of the forgive, don't forget type of thing.
Yeah.
You can forgive someone, but you also have to build up their credibility to understand a person, and nothing's wrong with that. That goes with loving yourself and respecting yourself.
Yeah.
You have to hold yourself up to a standard to where you can love somebody, but you can't let them run you over just because you love them. And that goes friends, relationships, passions, even yourself.
Yes.
You got to get yourself in check too sometimes, because you might run yourself over and burn yourself out.
Shit, that's
It
depression.
happens. Yeah.
Shit happens.
So it's very, you're right. And forgiving people, I'm in the same boat. I'm very understanding of somebody.
Yeah.
Like when I was talking the other night, I knew she wasn't completely right. But in the situation, I also know I'm not completely right. That goes with the whole, you can be right and you can be wrong, but you can also not be either at the same damn time.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's how some things are. And it's weird how that works. And forgiving people is good, because when you forgive, you don't hold on to the hostility and you can move forward. Instead of
you
just,
can let go of that.
Yeah, instead of just stopping in the tracks. If I had animosity and I felt the type of way and I whatever and I just didn't face what I felt and I didn't reach back out,
Yeah.
I would have never had a conversation.
And that
which
has a
had
hold on
meaning.
you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just did it to do it and to just build a friendship and to forgive. And not only forgive others but yourself. But going back to friends, I forgive too my dad as well. My mom was the primary parent, and my mom also was never perfect. She was a single mom. It was more in the city. It was more Broward County, and it's different type of lifestyle. People are less friendly versus where we are, which is more up Tampa, little under, but it's more, it's more friendly. Everybody's waving at each other. You can say hi or whatever.
You have your white gangsters.
Yeah, exactly. You got the wanksters. You got all that. It's more country-like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's just doing their own thing. In the city and in the Broward, you wave at somebody, you say hi to someone, they look at you like you just said the meanest slur in the world and you disgust them. Like you have a germ on your face. But it wasn't all bad. And it's more of a forgiving, because if you just hold that animosity and you change and you just hate somebody for no reason,
it can actually come back on you.
Exactly. And the thing is too, especially with parents,
androids.
Fucking hate that fucking android. Especially with parents, which I feel like you were kind of talking on too, is the understanding that they're also doing it for the first time, especially with younger parents. Like my parents were young. They had me when they were 18 or 21. I forget. And they're living through life for the first time. First time ever.
Yeah.
And there's so many things I could really just go back in the back of my mind and say, Dad, you're fucked. Like, that's fucked up. And I could just, like, throw in people's faces. There's so much dumb shit I can throw in people's faces. But at the same time, why would I do that? Because I know, too, and especially with relationships, love goes both ways. So I've also done dumb shit before, and he doesn't throw it in my face. So why would I do that?
I have a note that I read to you last week. We do this sometimes. We're interesting friends. We do certain weird things.
Yeah.
You know, I kiss them and shit. Nah. But
Only
yes, I do. OnlyFans after this.
Yeah.
I have a note in my phone that is very short and sweet, but gets to the point. It says, "Why do I love everyone?" And then the next thing under that is, I love everyone so much because I love everyone so much, no matter what they do, because I know that I do things, and I'm worried that one day I'll fuck up so bad that no one will love me. So
Yeah.
I love people the way I do because I know I'm not perfect, and I don't ever want to be the person that gets no love back. Because at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I want to be loved.
Yeah.
I want to have compassion showed to me. I want to know that someone will be there for me if the time comes, you know? And so, kind of, no matter how bad someone hurts my feelings, obviously, there's protecting your energy. I'm not willy-nilly, hey, do it to me again tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
But,
especially with friends.
But, like, I know I make mistakes, and I'm not a perfect person. I don't know what my life's going to look like in 10 years. So, honestly, it's not worth me holding that over them because just like they just fucked up, I might fuck up like that here soon. And what if nobody comes to my side ever again? I'm not fucking with that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's selfish because, accountability, take accountability for your actions. You deserve what you did, And that's true. Accountability is important, but growth is important too.
Yeah, and sometimes people need to be taught how to grow or be taught how to take accountability. And if you don't help somebody do that, they're just going to keep doing the same shit. And also, especially with family.
Yeah.
Family is, I feel like it's a subgenre of friends. Family, they're people who,
that's kind of how I feel.
They're the people that are stuck. Whether you like it or not, they're going to be there. With a friend, you could cut them off, fuck you, something. Yeah. With family, they're still gonna fucking be there, and you're still gonna hear about them whether you like it or not. Because they're family.
Yeah.
And especially with family, there's gonna be family members who are gonna mess up or gonna teach you, and you have to avoid. And I've seen it with my mom, and I've seen it with whatever. And I'm not saying my mom, I mean like her family members and how they treat her. But even then, I learned through my mom, people make mistakes, and they are learning, and they're taking different parts of life. You have to have enough humility to understand that and continue to help. And of course, if you keep helping and they don't give, then fuck you. But if someone starts to try, especially in your family, you need to do your best to support that. Like with my uncle, he was going through a rough path. He's still not perfect, but he got his own house right now.
Hey, there's a step.
And he's working and he's doing whatever. Is he perfect? No. But is he figuring it out slowly? Yeah. So of course, my mom pulled back, took the distance, keeps distance, which is fine, but still loves him enough to, hey,
yeah,
come over for Thanksgiving, come over for whatever, come over, let's chill. Oh, Christmas, what do you want?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's love. That's what love is, even if they might be suffocating.
No, I feel that.
And with family, it's more of a balance thing, because you can't just say, fuck you. Like, some people do, and that's different. But love is a whole different subgenre than friends. Friends now is more... Depends how you look at it. Some friends can end up being family.
I'm going to keep it a buck. Yeah, I think I love my friends probably about the same, if not, sometimes more than I do family. And I don't mean that like... Yeah, different. Exactly. Like, I love my sister wholeheartedly, so I'm not, like, saying my dad, my mom, my sister, my grandma. I love them. Those are my family that I love so very much. Both of my grandmas. If I missed your name, don't throw shade, okay? I'm not trying to name every family member I have. But, obviously, then there's, like, distant cousins or something, which, yeah, I would love to do a family reunion and say what's up. But, I hang out with my boy Micah every day. I hang out with Jaden every day. Sorry, but
there's a bigger
I have a connection with Jaden. I know him. And, you always feel, I don't know how y'all are, if you ever had a family reunion, but you kind of are expected to just, like, hop in, and maybe you are that tight-knit group, where everyone's just meshing. But I will tell you, I'm that guy at the family reunions where it's like, I have a lot of anxiety, because, honestly, the conversations, if I haven't spoke to you in years, I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, with family, and with a lot of families, is they're not really close at all. Like, they might communicate and still updated, and we know what's going on, the general basis of life, but we're not in their life.
Yeah.
Like with me, my family's very diverse. My mom's side, most of them are in New York. I've only seen them when I was younger,
Yeah.
and I don't speak to them at all. I don't even have their contact. I have my aunt, which I reach out to every now and then, which I have to reach out to again. I love Aunt Julie. Aunt Julie's so precious. She's getting old though. But they're in Buffalo, New York. And then my dad's side, they of course have the people which are down in Broward and more Miami or Orlando. But it's only like a tidbit of people which I've known for my life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people from Trinidad, which they come down.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting them, and of course my aunt's like, look, this is your cousin, this doctor, you know. And I'm like, that's cool, but I don't think I would ever have a conversation with them, and it's awkward. And it is awkward. But even then, I also have my cousins. My cousins, I grew up with them, but I've never been close with them. But I've seen them recently when I went back down, and we're like friends.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we're still just friends.
Oh, shout out Connor. I have a cousin who's pretty cool.
Yeah. Shout out Caleb and Nate.
I'll
Hey,
take it. No.
Caleb is going to Spain. He gonna be on your soccer radar. I'm telling you, he big in soccer. And Nate, I don't know what Nate doing. I don't know what vitamins he taking. I tried to figure it out.
He big?
Bro, I don't know what happened. He's younger. Caleb my age, basically, right?
Yeah.
Nate is the younger one. I think he's 16, or he might be 7. I think he's 16. Bro, this dude already 6 foot. How? Last time I saw him, he was like nearing my height, and then he's 6 foot next time I see him.
I'm gonna be 5'7" the rest of my life.
My license says 5'9".
I think my license says 5'8" or 5'7". I'm one of those two. I don't know. With shoes, I think I'm 5'6". With shoes, I think I'm 5'8". Without shoes, I'm 5'7". So.
I don't know. It depends on the day how straight my back is.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes sleep be fucking you up. But Nah, I think obviously, this is not a one and done conversation. We can do more of these if you fuck with them.
And we can keep yapping.
We are insightful ass people.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's really just fun to have these conversations and learn from each other. And honestly, I think we're at a pretty good point on this one.
Yeah.
Because we've covered the 4 sectors in little bits, you know.
Yeah.
And there's obviously expansion, but let me know if you guys want to see that expansion.
Yeah,
and
or if there's any other topics, because if anything, like I said in the middle, this is just one conversation you're just picking up. It's
yeah. The title of this video might quite literally just be
conversation about love, or just love.
Yeah. It'll be love, and this will be the thumbnail. He didn't want to get that close. I guess I'm too gay. Too gay on a 2K. I be playing that shit all day.
Ooh, see, I don't like 2K. Actually, no. I like 2K, I just never learned how to play it. I would always try to make threes from the
I'm gonna be his teacher.
midline.
The half court?
Yeah, half court line.
Oh, I was teaching him how to play basketball in real life. Shit was fire.
Ooh,
We gotta get
I got
back
a basketball now.
Yeah. Shit, I got a $42 Dick's gift card. Hey, and kind of random, but my boss at work, if you guys didn't know, I obviously don't just do YouTube. 500 subscribers, unfortunately, does not pay the bills. But my boss at work, one, Jaden did not get the job. But he did get a job. So, good shit.
Today, chat.
And that's okay.
I just look for my phone. It's up there.
And my boss gave me a $50 Outback gift card, and I just had my year with my girlfriend. So we went to Outback yesterday, and I got the shits afterwards, but it was definitely fire. And, oh yeah, these smoothies were good, though.
They're dense. This is going to last me, like, the
You know,
rest of the day.
It's a meal supplement, too, so it can supplement a meal. It'll fill you up.
I'm filled.
Yeah.
Man. I'm filled.
What's it called, though? I think one of the things we didn't really get into on my part, and I think a little bit on your part, but not quite, is just some of that relationship history and how those went down. If you want a better podcast breakdown on just an individual sector.
If you want us to talk about our relationships, that's a whole different
That might be a longer video, honestly.
Video, yeah.
But if you want
To get
that,
in the
let us
nitty-gritty.
know. If you want a family and friends sect, like each of these individual pillars could be a bigger deep dive. But we kind of covered each one a little bit extensively. I think relationship might have got the most time, or self-love. Those were the two big ones.
Yeah, those are the two main pillars.
But, you know, if you learned anything from this, good. If you didn't, okay, know it all. Be that way. If you have ways to correct us, let us know. If you got any relation from this, if you feel like this was relatability right here, Dubs, yeah, welcome to the community. Subscribe, like, and if you made it this far, you got to be doing something right. You're not just staring at our faces the whole time. You're probably multitasking. Go to sleep to this, man. Put this on when you go to bed. Run up my watch time. But with all that said,
It's a good conversation.
a W conversation. Shake hands. All right, we're beefing right now, so we don't show love to each other.
Oh yeah, fuck you.
He's gonna fuck me on the OnlyFans after.
Hey, subscribe. $2
yes.
a month.
If you want to look it up, it is at DiggyDaddy 42. So if that's a real person and I just got you a subscriber, you're welcome. Shout out Mr. Buttons, the rarest fuggler ever. And with all that said, enjoy basketball. Enjoy. Put them up, put them up, put them up. Grab a random one, grab a random one, grab a random one. Enjoy fugglers. Enjoy love for yourself, your relationships, your drives, your hobbies, your passions, your friends, your family. Just enjoy love. And most importantly, baby, enjoy life. Until next time, you know what to do, Jay. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Stay blessed.